Good day to all my dear participants and to our professor, Mr. Marlon Altiche. I'm Miss Karana L. Kulandog from BTB TED 3J Major in Garments Fashion and Design. I would like to welcome all of you in our program and thank you for joining. Before we start, I would like to know if you are doing fine to ensure the good flow of our discussion. Please chat like emoji if you are okay and you will understand my voice clearly. And before we proceed on our discussion, I prepared a short game to energize all of you and I hope you enjoy in my prepared game. This game is called a trivia game. The mechanics of this game are first is those who wants to answer can type your answer on the chat box. The second is fill in the blanks, the missing terms for each statement. The third mechanics is you will only have 5 seconds to answer each question. Okay, first question is PowerPoint was first released in blank under the name Presenter. Microsoft had to change the name later on due to copyright reasons. Let's see the answer. The correct answer is 1987. Next question is the inventor of PowerPoint wasn't Microsoft. It was the entrepreneur blank. The correct answer is Robert Gaskins. Okay, let's proceed on third question. More than blank people use PowerPoint worldwide. The correct answer is 500 million. Next is the fourth question. Is preparing presentation takes on average blank of time for a normal employee? The correct answer is 2 hours. Okay, the last question is an average PowerPoint slide has blank written on it. The correct answer is 40 words. Okay, thank you my dear participants for participating on our short games. I hope you enjoy it. So now let's proceed on our topic for today's forum. My topic for today's forum is all about the effective use of PowerPoint presentation. And our learning objectives for today's are, at the end of this program, the participants should be able to, first is characterize a good PowerPoint presentation for teaching. And then second is demonstrate the process of screen recording for video lectures using PowerPoint presentation. The third is value the use of PowerPoint presentation in creating video lectures. Before I proceed on the topics, I want you to know that when we say PowerPoint presentation or PowerPoint slideshow, it can an added bonus of sharing on the file with students is that it may be able to be accessed at any time. And thus it can be provide more cognitive assistance as a reminder, a memory jogger, and a revision tool. Now let's proceed on the characteristics of a good PowerPoint presentation. The first is the hyperlink so that the students may be directed to web pages. In PowerPoint, you can create a hyperlink using any text within your presentation. When you click on hyperlink, is you can directly to on a link to a specific slide within your presentation, and you can save a file or a web page or another PowerPoint presentation or a custom email. Just like on my presentation, I can do in my short game is I can make that as a hyperlink on my original presentation. This is to make it easy to access and to avoid of having many slides on my presentation. Next is number 2. Include still or moving graphics, charts, and pictures. Another good characteristics in your PowerPoint presentation is you can put graphics or charts, bullets, pictures, and also you can put videos. And of course, when you use or include such, it should be related to your topics. And aside from that, it increases the memory capacity of the mind, and also it helps on the students to remember the information for a long time. Okay, next is number 3. 3 is the visual effects that simulate interest and or deepen understanding of a concept. The visual effects like the transitions and animations are very positive effects, and it helps the viewers to understand the presentation better because the learners can immediately determine which are the first topic that you want to discuss. And also the creator of the slides will avoid showing the all the contents of the slides immediately. And that's why learners can focus well and they won't be confused as to which is the first topic because it's arranged in order. Okay, next is number 4. Ease of use for students and lecturers. There are many presentation software are available, but none of them are can compares to the ease of using on that PowerPoint offers because PowerPoint presentation is very suitable for teachers who are not very techno friendly as well as for the students. Using it is a very simple and easy. And then you can save it on your cell phone, on your laptop, or any gadgets that you have. And not just like on making a visual aids, that is more hassle to do that. And it's expensive as well because you will buy another materials to make a visual aids. But in PowerPoint presentation is all you need is the app of PowerPoint presentation. Then you can explain your topic better because you will free to include pictures, charts, videos, and etc. Okay, next is let's study the process of screen recording for video lectures using PowerPoint presentation. The first thing we can do is open the slide on which you want to record the screen. And after that is press the slideshow button and then click the record from current slideshow. And then finally, you can record your screen. The purpose of this is to open the camera when you click it. And you can also type its shortcut key, which is Control plus J. And then, if you want to close your camera, you can click it off. And when you press this button, the learners will not view the video and they are not hear your voice. Let's look at the button here, which is lower right in the corner. If you want to turn off your camera preview, so when you click that, the recording camera will be turned off. And in this, in the middle, if we simply want to record audio, we can click it, but the video will not be captured. And when you click on it, only your voices will be heard. And when we press the record button, a 3-second timer will show in our PowerPoint. Will we record on time duration. And if you are finished on recording, simply click the stop button. And if you want to check your video, just click the replay button. And then the pin is represents that we want to include in your PowerPoint presentation like this. Here are the two tools we have on highlighter. So the highlighter, if you want to highlight something like this, and it depends on what you want to highlight. The main purpose of eraser is to allow you to remove highlights or your drawing that you put in your PowerPoint presentation. And there are the colors at the front, which is it can show many colors that can be used. And then, if you want to move your slide to another, use the move button on the slide. This is an example of using the right button to move to the next topic. And then the purpose of this button is if you want to return your slide, is you can click this button. There are notes at the top of the center where you can write down what you want to say just in case you forgot your topics. Also, there are size on your notes that will be you can increase when you click on it. And you can also click it to make smaller the fonts on your notes. The settings button appears when we click it, and we can choose which microphone we want to use. If you have a microphone, simply click it. The slide number appears in the left corner, followed by the timer or duration of our presentation if our narration lasts a few minutes or seconds. My dear participants, please remember that when you start recording, you won't be able to change it. You won't be able to unmute or on your camera. Here, we can now start recording our PowerPoint presentation. The mechanics of this game are: first is, those who want to answer can type your answer on the chat box. Second is, fill in the blanks, the missing terms for each state. Number 3, you will only have 5 seconds to answer each question. So when we already done, just click the stop button and X button. After that is, we can put it anywhere you want to see your video. You also edit it, check your grammar and video. Next is, when you already done in editing, let's proceed with saving. First, click the save as, and then click on this PC or others that you want to save your PowerPoint presentation. For example, I want to save it on my documents folder too, and then choose a folder, and in the file name box, type the name that you want to. And after that, click the MPEG -4 video to save your PowerPoint presentation as a video. Next is, here are the things to remember. First is, be careful of over-designing PowerPoint slides may be distracting for most learners, and there is nothing worse. In making or putting too many design in the PPT does not help the students. It is better if your design is limited or relatively plain. And then you always remember that you can consider that keep the consistency of your background of your presentation and have a subtitle. Next is, if you include pictures and diagrams, make sure they are highly relevant to the material on the slides and assist learning. It is very important when you make a PPT, the ones that you put in the slides should be connected to your topic. Because if you just put in something it also doesn't make sense, it won't help on the readers or the learners. And again, the key is not overusing photos that to the point that it makes your presentation looks professional. And also your photos should only be used if you want to promote or emphasize the main idea of your slide. Next is number 3. If you have things you want to stand out, do not use red and green, as colorblind students cannot tell the difference. Also, it is important that your text should be easy to read and pleasant looking. The large, simple fonts and theme colors are always the best. And then avoid using the color green and red, especially when you have something you want to compare to the learners, because it color blinds on the eyes, and moreover they cannot properly determine the difference between what you want to compare. Next is, using different fonts can be good but also be an issue for some students. So if it is necessary, it is wise to use Arial or font without a serif. My dear participants, as I said before, it's really better to use a Arial font because it's faster for students to read. It is readable, and they won't have problems when they read the slides. And then Avoid fonts with serifs because it's not readable. Next is if you are including links to web pages such as YouTube, check them before the lecture. Always make sure that you check the links of your works when you open it, for less hassle, because if you don't take care of it right away or check if what you did is okay, it will waste your time. Instead of for discussion, you can consume it to fix your links. So always be ready. Next is if you need to download a video, do so before the lecture, as this can take a long time and students can easily lose interest if you are wait to download something. This is another thing. If you want to download or watch a video, do it right away. Download it. You have everything you need ready before the class starts. Because when you download during the discussion, it will only waste your time. And aside from that, the students cannot listen because they will be impatient. And it possible that the students will be sleepy and they will no longer be interested to listen to you. Next is number your slides. This can be handy if you get lost. This is very helpful for putting a number on those slides, because it makes you determine immediately if there are any loss on your slides, if you forgot any information that you didn't to put on your slides. By placing the slides, you will be aware immediately, and your slides will be arranged before your lecture. Next is always proofread your slides. This is the last and very important for you to recheck your work. This is to make sure that your spelling on your slides are all correct. And aside from that, your grammar is very important, that you check it or you revise it, that you think it faster on the reader to understand your grammar. My dear participants, always remember that when you make a PowerPoint presentation, is always make sure or consider if it is useful, and in the information you have entered is clear, and you should minimize your slides. It is better that only a few slides, and it should be only 8 by 8 lines and words, so that it doesn't color blind on your eyes, and you can remember every information that is put in your PPT. Simpler design is more professional looking. And aside from that, there are advantages and disadvantages on using a PowerPoint presentation that you should explore or remember. And that's for our for today. Here are the references of the PowerPoint presentation. Thank you for listening and joining on our virtual forum. I hope you learned a lot on our today's virtual forum. God bless you all.